She deceived him for this reason, guys. And you won't believe what eventually happened. Kindly subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our latest movies and explosive recaps. The movie opens with a heated confrontation between a man named Dayo and his stepmother, Neka. Dayo angrily questions why his late father willed 80% of his entire estate to Neka, leaving him with just 20%. In response, Neka reveals a painful truth. When Dayo's father was on his sickbed, he begged to see his son, but Dayo never showed up. Instead of feeling remorse, Dayo becomes even more enraged. He speaks harshly, calls her filthy names, and pushes her to her limit until she finally slaps him in anger. Even though his late father's lawyer tries to calm the situation, the argument spirals out of control. The tension becomes unbearable, and Dayo storms out. But was this anger really about the inheritance, or was something deeper eating him up? Broken and shaken, Neka retreats to her room in tears. As she cries, her mind drifts back to the past, remembering how she first met Dayo's father. She recalls how he introduced himself, showed genuine interest in her, and clearly stated his intention to marry her. Back in the present, the reality of his death hits her again, and she weeps bitterly. Could love really turn into this much pain? Later, Dayo sits with his girlfriend, Dahlia, as they discuss the will. He can't understand why his father would give only 20% to him and leave the remaining 80% to his stepmother and stepbrother. As they talk, Dayo begins to blame his late father for his mother's death, pouring out years of bottled-up resentment. Together, they keep overthinking the situation, feeding his anger instead of calming it. But is blaming the dead really the solution? Meanwhile, Neka continues mourning her husband. She reminisces about the beautiful moments they shared, the laughter, the love, and the companionship they enjoyed together. Moments later, her son Dele enters her room. He sits with her, comforts her, reminds her of his father, and even brings her a cup of tea. Then Dele asks a disturbing question that has been bothering him. Is it true, as Dayo claimed, that she ruined his father's first marriage? Neka firmly denies it and explains everything. She says she was already divorced before marrying his father, and Dayo's father was also divorced at the time. According to her, Dayo is only angry and lashing out because of his bitterness. But will Dele believe her? The next morning, Neka is quietly having tea for breakfast when Dahlia suddenly joins her at the dining table. Instead of being polite, Dahlia behaves rudely. She speaks with sarcasm, mocks Neka cleverly, and indirectly accuses her of killing her own husband. Shocked and deeply hurt, Neka expresses her displeasure and walks away. Was Dahlia crossing a line, or was this part of a bigger plan? Elsewhere, Dayo is in his room when Dahlia comes to meet him. He opens up about his painful past, recalling how he confronted his father after his mother's death. Dayo had blamed his father for everything, but his father explained that he was already divorced from Dayo's mother and couldn't know everything happening in her life. Despite the explanation, Dayo remained furious, and the argument nearly turned physical. Back in the present, Dayo and Dahlia begin plotting. They discuss how to get the inheritance from Neka, and Dahlia suggests a shocking idea. Dayo should seduce Neka and lure her emotionally. Could he really go that far just for money? The following day, Dele goes to his mother's room looking for her. While waiting, he notices a journal and begins to read it. To his surprise, it contains his late father's personal experiences about how he first met Neka. The journal reveals that his father first saw her while she was waiting for a ride. He offered to give her a lift, but she ignored him and walked away. Later, fate reunited them when she came to apply for a job at his company, only to discover he was the same man. She became his secretary, and from that moment, he developed feelings for her. The journal goes on to describe how he asked her out to dinner and how their love story slowly unfolded. Dele is stunned by this discovery. Could everything Dayo believes be a lie? Back in the dining area, Neka is seated when Dayo approaches her and unexpectedly apologizes for all the hurtful things he said. Neka is shocked and clearly doesn't believe his sudden change of heart. As he continues talking, he begins asking her intimate and uncomfortable questions, clearly trying to lure her, just as planned. Suddenly, Dahlia interrupts the moment. Realizing what's going on, Neka insults both of them and walks away angrily. Outside, Dahlia blames Dayo for trying to kiss Neka, and the two leave in frustration. But is this really the end of their plan, or is the worst yet to come? Later that day, Dele was in his room when his mother came in. He was clearly upset, feeling that she had lied to him. Nika denied it at first, but Dele showed her his father's diary, the one he had read. He confronted her with what was written inside. According to her, she met his biological father after she was divorced, but the diary told a different story. Nneka became speechless. Dele begged her to be honest with him, clearly disappointed. Finally, Nneka admitted the truth and apologized to her son. She revealed that she actually left her previous husband to marry his father. This confession made Dele even more unsettled. Nneka then tried to explain how complicated everything was, saying she met his father 2 years after her divorce and explaining everything in detail. Dele expressed that all he wanted was honesty and openness from her. But just as their conversation continued, Dayo walked in with his girlfriend, interrupting them. Out of nowhere, Dayo dropped a shocking bombshell. He claimed that Dele was not the legitimate son of his father. Dele was stunned. Nneka tried to cover it up, but Dayo went further, explaining that her ex-husband had thrown her out because Dele was not his biological child. Dayo even mocked the situation. At that point, Nneka admitted that Dayo was right and revealed the biggest shock of all. Dayo's late father was actually Dele's biological father. Everyone was stunned. Dele was completely heartbroken. Nneka then explained further that she had an affair with Dayo's father a day before she married Dele's supposed father, and when the truth later came out, her husband threw them out. Dayo refused to believe her explanation until she presented a DNA test to prove it. Dele, deeply hurt and disappointed, walked away, while Nneka broke down in tears. But can you imagine discovering your true identity like this? Later, Dele went to the living room crying and full of anger. His mother followed him, trying to apologize, but Dele poured out all his frustration. The argument became heated, and Dele eventually stormed out of the house. That night, Dayo sat outside with his girlfriend, also upset by the shocking discoveries. In anger and pain, he burned his late father's picture. Was this rage or pure heartbreak? The following day, Nneka was still in tears over everything that had happened when Dayo approached her, pretending to be kind. He acted like he was consoling her and advised her to move on with her life. Immediately, Nneka yelled at him and ordered him to leave. Later that day, Dayo's late father's lawyer handed him a letter from his father. When Dayo read it, he made a shocking discovery. He was not the legitimate son of his late father either. Devastated, Dayo walked away. Sitting alone in his car, he remembered the past, how he once fought his father when he wanted to marry Nneka, how he insulted him and left. Back in the present, Dayo broke down in tears, calling himself a bastard. How much truth can one man handle? The next day, Nneka went to Dayo's room and accused him of being responsible for her son's disappearance. Dayo denied it and even tried to seduce her again, but Nneka slapped him and left angrily. That evening, Nneka couldn't sleep. She was worried and confused about Dele's whereabouts. She also remembered the moments she shared with her late husband when he was sick. Back in the present, she tried calling Dele again, but there was no response. Where could he be? The following morning, Nneka brought the police to question Dayo, and he was taken to the station. Moments later, he returned, and he and Nneka exchanged heated words once again. Nneka kept accusing him of knowing something about her son's disappearance before he walked away angrily. Later, Dayo confronted his girlfriend, Dahlia, about Dele's disappearance. He accused her, but she denied everything. While Dayo was sitting alone later, his private investigator called him with shocking information. He revealed that Dahlia had been with his father shortly before he died and sent him solid evidence. Moments later, Dahlia arrived. Dayo questioned her and showed her the proof, demanding the truth. Dahlia told more lies, which only angered Dayo further. Right there and then, Dayo broke up with her. Suddenly, Dahlia pulled out a gun, threatened him, and knocked him out when he fainted. Could this get any worse? Meanwhile, Dahlia was holding Dele hostage as he begged for his freedom. She later tied Dayo up in the same room. Dayo tried to reason with her, begging her to stop everything, but Dahlia remained unmoved. She claimed she did all of this for him. Then, she revealed the most shocking truth of all. She was the one who killed his father so Dayo could inherit his wealth. As if that wasn't enough, Dahlia's guard captured Nneka and brought her into the room. Just in time, The police arrived, arrested Dahlia and her accomplice, and took them away. Justice finally caught up with her, but at what cost? Days later, Dio was packing his things, ready to leave. Nneka and Dele stopped him and offered him a partnership, not just in business, but as family. They had a heartfelt conversation, forgave each other, and finally reconciled. So guys, if you enjoyed this movie recap, kindly subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our latest movies and powerful stories.